We had some fun in Austin.
The Indian Eddie Bravo came out. You got the wine going, and Eddie's gonna Eddie. Nothing better.
Eddie's gonna Eddie.
That's why I was laughing so hard, because we haven't been together in a while. Like the OG, like, obviously me and Rogan have done it with Brian Simpson, Tony, and some other guys. But when it's the OG crew, 2 minutes into it. Yeah. 2 minutes into it, we are just off the deep end. That's why I just, in the middle of it, you guys are talking, I start laughing.
With the whole,
I look at Rogan, I go, 2 minutes in.
With the fluoride thing, I'm like, and then Eddie's like, oh, Dennis are retarded. I'm like, huh?
See, I'm on Eddie's vibe with that stuff, though, but I stay out of it. You don't want to gang up on just you know?
It's great.
It was fun, though. We missed a lot of we saw some of the fights. Missed
some good fights, but we lost a lot of
some good fights.
Yeah.
Dude, I thought it was fascinating because, obviously we're coming right behind Trump. We're talking to Jamie and the security guys. Dude, the amount of security Trump had.
I think it was like 200 people.
200 people.
Yeah.
Jamie said it was so packed in Rogan's studio there, which isn't huge.
Yeah.
It was so packed. Like you had to go, excuse me, like just to move. And the amount of security he had, 60 armed guards.
Even the Navy SEALs were they were so tactical. They looked like RoboCop, some of those guys.
You said the threat of assassination is
the counter assault team.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not going to get very far with those guys. If you decide to pull out a gun in that area, you're done.
And then they got there hours and hours before. They had drones everywhere. There's a video of the cops on bikes.
Yeah.
There's 100 of them.
Really?
Oh man, wild.
They're not playing around.
They had drones everywhere. They would stop cars. They shut the road down.
I think that's appropriate.
Oh yeah,
100% appropriate.
Yeah.
And by the way,
there's been two already.
If he wins the election, we'll be seeing that'll be the case all the time.
Everywhere. Yeah.
It never goes away. That's got to be exhausting. Just knowing that you're always, you chose this thing. He could have easily just said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to keep doing The Apprentice. Yeah. Or I'm just going to be an American, a bigger than life American figure that's loved by everybody.
Dude, someone had this meme that said, who would have thought that the two hosts of reality shows, The Apprentice and Fear Factor, would have the most important podcasts in our history?
God.
The guy from Fear Factor, the guy from Apprentice.
Well, one of the things that I remember, Joe was always on the fence about getting involved in this space.
Yeah.
In other words, having such a charged political figure, because like it or not, he's insanely powerful because his podcast had such reach. He has such a following, and so many people take what he says very seriously. I'm talking about Joe.
Yeah.
So for him, the amount of energy it creates when you give anyone who's political a platform, and especially someone as divisive as Donald Trump. And I understand why he was always a little bit hesitant to get into the space.
Not pick sides, really.
Because I got so many friends who are conservative, who are liberal, who are in the middle, who are texting me and saying, what he should have done, or I got a huge problem with the way he did this, or he didn't do this enough. And you're like, dude, he's not a journalist, man. He's not a journalist. Also, and he's never claimed to be.
Just be grateful he even had him on, you stupid fuck.
Well, but it's all.
I would have done this. Really? Then why don't you do it?
But it's also important.
Then you do it.
Right. And he's not a journalist.
No, he's having him on to make him human. He's not on there to do gotcha or your policy on this. No, he's having a conversation that will do more for your candidate than anything. Just being normal, not talking on points.
Right.
Just being a fucking
human being. And he wants
to
to do the same thing with Kamala.
Yeah, he's open to it.
Let me just talk to her. Let me see who she is. I don't know who she is.
I'm pretty sure he has JD Vance on this week.
Well, JD Vance is a beast. He'll be.
But my point is, of course he's a beast. But my point is, he'll have a conversation with Kamala, whoever.
He'll talk to anybody.
Yeah.
And what I do think that is lost on people is that he's absolutely willing to give Kamala Harris 3 hours, the same amount of time, to say whatever she wants.
No, it's her insecurities, not Rogan's.
Yeah.
He's like, but if she wants to come on, the offer's there. They won't do it.
I think. I don't know.
They won't do it.
I don't know. But it was very interesting. I get it. I'm the kind of guy.
You could tell the team, like Rogan's team, all of them, right? Like we've known those guys forever. Jamie even wrote, everyone's exhausted. Yeah. Like they're just like, dude, what a freaking week.
Yeah, man.
Like just a lot.
It's
just a lot.
It's a lot. It's a lot. I remember when there was the possibility of Trump doing Rogan's podcast a long time ago. And I don't know, am I speaking out of turn?
No, I think most people know this.
Yeah,
Rogan said no.
Yeah, he just didn't. I remember talking to him about it. I was like, have him on. You know me. right? I'm like, have him on.
I don't get.
But I'm not as thoughtful.
I don't get.
But I'm not
involved
as
with it.
thoughtful.
Yeah.
Like I would have jumped at the opportunity without thinking about the 3D chess going on. There's 3D chess. Whenever you have anybody like that on your podcast, whether you like it or not, you're going to be held responsible in one way or another. You're gonna
upset a lot of people no matter what.
No matter what.
No matter what.
And I think he understood that. I think he was like, I don't know if I want to get into this space. And, but I'm glad he did. I thought he handled that.
It'd be the most watched program of all time. It's at 26 million views. The number one, I think, is at 60.
26 million.
But that was 4 years ago.
Yeah.
This is at 26 million in 3 days.
Wow.
It's averaging 1.5 million downloads every hour.
Yeah. Yeah. Personally, I thought Trump was very reverential. It was very interesting to see. He kind of like, because Trump was talking to a guy who doesn't need anything from him.
But Trump's also done, no one does, but also Trump's a guy who's done millions of regular interviews, like maybe not 3 hours with Rogan, but he's done normal interviews, non-political stuff.
Very, very
Most guys can't do this. I think JD Vance is great. I think as far as presidential and being professional, he's probably the best we have on the right. I don't think JD Vance can do as good as Rogan, as good as Trump. Because it's a different type of entertainment.
Yeah.
You got to be a normal dude. You can't have an agenda going in.
Yes.
So we'll see. Politicians will struggle on this type of medium. It's not a knock on Kamala.
Yeah.
Most politicians,
unless you're Trump, unless you're JD Vance, unless you're Vivek Ramaswamy, those guys can handle it.
Yeah, Vivek. But again, they don't come from that political background.
That's right.
That's all of them don't. Yeah, they've done conversations before. Yeah, they don't. But if you're like Newsom would eat shit on there. He's a career politician. He wouldn't do well.
Oh,
because he has to stay.
He would never do it.
Well, of course.
When you hear him talk, it's so measured.
Rogan would never. But again, those guys who come up as all they want to do is be political people, they're just not going to excel in this medium. It's very rare. It's not a knock on Kamala. It's just the way they're wired.
Yeah.